Magic Numbers, Forever Lost. I was taken unawares because I opened that thing, what is it?
The confectionery?
Well, we were sort of doing it ironically, like people getting shameless plugs by giving us stuff, but then I opened it, and it's brilliant.
It is brilliant.
It's all retro stuff. It's got a curly whirly, a fountain, sherbet fountain. I've just been eating a drumstick that I didn't quite finish in time.
It's got some of those little cola bottles. That's Hope and Greenwood and their confectionery, which are available now, the perfect summer gift. Once you've got to go to a wedding or barbecue party.
We've got some rubbish to give away now, haven't we?
We have indeed, yeah. If only we hadn't opened that, we could have thrown that in the mix.
I know, no, it's too good to give away.
It's time for Rockbusters, the quiz that no one looks forward to. And, we've got, as usual, the bunch of, CDs, DVDs, I should say, which,
Just tell me we have got another copy of Ladder 49.
Ladder 49's right here. That's
Brilliant.
in the mix, yeah.
How many did they send you?
Joaquin Phoenix, John Travolta, Ladder 49, the movie that no one's seen.
Yeah.
I've never met anyone who's seen it.
But it's owned by every single XFM listener.
Exactly. Also in the mix, as I said before, we've got Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, which, if you haven't seen that on telly, I'd be very surprised. French and Saunders at the movie, the best of all the French and Saunders movie spoofs, which is, I think, on TV every single night.
Yeah. It's a very gay giveaway so far,
It's a
isn't
very
it?
wicked. Well, this
got Ladder 49, the people in uniform, you've got Queen of the Desert and French and Saunders,
Well,
the gays love them.
You know how much a fan I am of Chevy Chase. You know I love Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
Well, we've also got here National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation 2, which doesn't feature Chevy Chase. It was so bad, even Chevy wouldn't agree to be in it, so instead Randy Quaid, who plays Cousin Eddie, it's him.
Right.
And on the back I notice it says, special appearance by Eric Idle.
Brilliant.
I mean, let's be honest, if a film's got a special appearance by Eric Idle,
I know.
it's probably not classic, is all
Do
I'm
you reckon
saying.
they do, always walk on the... look on the bright side of life.
Anyway, that's just some of the DVDs which you can win, and obviously the real reason you should enter is because you go forward to this big prize draw, which is in our last show, where you can win some actual quality.
Yeah, a signed, Matt Groening drawing, and if you can see him drawing that on rickygervais.com, it is totally genuine. This is there, him actually drawing it in front of your very eyes. Also, us, made us, Flanimals, and a signed, poster by Nigel Tufnell. Christopher Guest.
Sure.
So proper good prizes.
Yep.
Just that this is I think it should be the last one to get into it. Maybe next week, the 4 that we've got get down to 2 maybe. And then we get them on the line in the last, what do you think?
Well, I'll be honest, I wish we'd thought it through. I don't know about you, but I wish we thought this
Chris Campling, if you've got any ideas to how this show could have run, see, we should have scripted this.
What we said, we just said go in a drawer, didn't we?
Did we? Yeah, we hadn't thought it through though.
Yeah, but we can't keep swapping and changing.
Well, we haven't done it yet. We can do what we want, yeah. You know how many BAFTAs we've won? We can do exactly what we want.
High five.
Well, listen. Right, let's get down to business then.
Right, so Rockbusters, let's explain briefly what this quiz is for those that have only just started listening to the show.
It's basically, Blockbusters.
Well, you say that, Rick, but it's not, is it? I mean, that Blockbusters made sense.
Yeah, well,
this is
Carl thinks this is a cryptic clue going, right, a fella is walking along and oh look, there's the fish, what does that mean? Do you trout spinners?
Some of them are hard because they've dug them all out.
Some are hard because they don't make sense.
No, but they've dug them all out because they're going to put them all on the website for people to play along with, and they came to me for the answers, and some of them are pretty tricky. I couldn't answer them. So
I love that.
Anyway,
the only man that can outwit himself.
Right then. So the first one then, here we go. Why don't you borrow some land off Mr. Boardman, or Mr. Laurel, or Mr. Fletcher? Alright? Why don't you borrow a little bit of land?
Oh, it's changed already.
Already changed.
Already changed.
Mr. Boardman.
Well, no, do it again and do it exactly the same each time. Do it again.
Why don't you borrow some land off Mr. Boardman, or Mr. Laurel, or Mr. Fletcher if you need a bit of it?
What's changing?
Okay, and what are the initials?
Right, LS.
LS.
LS, that's a band or an artist. Who am I talking about? Second one. I'm gonna,
sorry, he's got a sweet in his mouth.
I'm gonna annoy those seabirds over there. Right?
I'm gonna annoy those seabirds over there.
Well, just those seabirds, it doesn't matter where they are. I'm gonna annoy them seabirds.
I don't know what he's talking about anymore, Steve. Honestly.
B is the initial.
I love the fact that he was fascinated by the strangest village in Britain, but the stories he's told us about where he comes from, there's him going around with 2 fellas with big heads, webbed feet, a little pigeon-chested bloke, him on his grifter with Maggie pecking at him, his dad in the telephone box nicking groceries, and a horse in the house next door. I mean, how strange was his upbringing? And him hanging from his satchel. Unbelievable.
There's another woman who I remembered. Actually, I'll tell you later.
Go on, what?
I'll tell you later about another woman who I remembered.
What is it? Give us a teaser.
It's just a woman who rode around on a 3-wheeled bike with her husband in a basket. I'll tell you right, and the final
don't get
clue.
teasers like that on the other radio
That's a hell of a funeral service.
Right, listen. Right, the final clue. What the Scouse fella said to the robber who he found in his house next to his vineyard.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What?
Again?
Right, so what the Scouse fella said
Right, this is going to be a pronunciation thing.
to the robber he found in his house.
Oh, God,
which was
I've
next to
lost
his-
the will to live. I want to get in that woman's basket on the street. We'll just be driven round
and
the rest of my life.
the initials there, AW. AW. Who is it?
Alright. Well,
Email in and that.
should we have also on the text 83XFM? You can win Christmas,
one to get
National
the
Lampoon's
three.
Christmas Vacation 2 and Ladder 49.
Yeah, David Bowie. Watch That Man on XFM 104.9. Now, coming up, Steve, and listeners, I'm talking to them mainly. I'm not really, I'm talking to you and Carl, really.
Yeah.
But, coming up, an old feature, Knob News.
Oh, Knob News, the welcome return of Knob News.
Yeah, and, Monkey News is still there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just briefly, you don't think you really gave that, competition justice, did you, not handing out the email?
Let's just quickly whiz through the questions again.
Yeah.
John's texted in, by the way. He says, I never get any of the Rockbusters clues. Is this a good or a bad thing? Definitely a good thing.
Definitely a good
Definitely a
thing.
good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All other people do.
Well,
First one. Why don't you borrow a bit of land off, Mr. Boardman or Mr. Laurel? Or even Mr. Fletcher?
Right.
LS. Second one. I'm gonna annoy those seabirds. Right. B. And the last one. What the Scouse fella said to the robber he found in his house next to his vineyard. AW. If you know what they are, email in or text.
We need the answers quickly, Carl. to
Rockbusters. We're running out of time. We've got Rockbusters and Monkey News to come in this fun-packed show.
Give us the clues, give us the answers.
Right, the first one was, why don't you borrow a little bit of land off Mr. Boardman, or Mr. Laurel, or Mr. Fletcher?
Go on then.
Right, what am I getting at there? The initials were LS, right? Lease a Stan's field, right? Because you're borrowing it, that's leasing it. It's Stan Boardman, Stan Laurel, and it's a field and that, innit? Second one, I'm gonna annoy those seabirds. That was B. What you doing when you're annoying a bird? You're bugging it. What's a seabird? A gull. Buggles. Right? Bug gulls.
I don't know where to start, mate.
Right, don't worry about it.
I don't know where to start. If we had more time,
Don't worry.
I'd throw him out of a window. Right.
What the Scouse fella said to the robber he found in his house next to his vineyard.
Go on then.
That was AW.
Yeah.
That was A, me Winehouse. Right?
What?
A, me Winehouse.
What? Tell us about the woman. What's the text? Quick.
Well, 83936 on the text. Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk on the email and that.
Right, and that. Mark that one down.
Let's make a note of that.
And that. Right, tell us about this woman.
Well, it was just because you were saying about the, our living.
We are broadcasting now, aren't we? This is actually going out. This is live. This isn't us sort of like.
Yeah,
sort
but
of-
you were just talking about how I lived in an odd village
Yeah.
with kids with big heads and all that, right? And what I wanted to do.
What is that again? There's two kids with big heads.
Yeah, they just had sort of big heads and webbed hands and that. They went to my school, and when I spoke to my dad the other day, because I'm going to see my mum and dad tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
So I said, have we got any school photographs with the big-headed kids in? And he said, no, nobody bought those sort of school photos because they were in it, so it was always a bit ruined. But I said, well. No, he said sales were, because he obviously talked to other dads and stuff like that, and he just said, oh, no one bought them. But anyway, so
I would love them.
Yeah.
That's why I'd buy them.
yeah, but I wouldn't stand out, would I? If
And
it's on
that's
the
saying
mantelpiece.
Yeah, well.
But anyway, so I was talking about,
When you say they had big heads, what do you mean? Do they look like someone from Doctor Who?
they were just quite big.
But they weren't related.
No.
So why did two blokes with big heads and webbed feet?
I lived in a weird area. There was a
there
sort of a chemical plant close by.
I can't believe you've never told us that before. That explains a lot. Not just the freaks in your neighbourhood, but
No, there was loads of weird stuff going on. There was this, like I said, there was this woman who, used to, like, live in one of the council flats, right? And, she had a three-wheeled, sort of big, what do you call it?
Son. Three-wheeled son. He was the weirdest bloke we ever knew.
What do you call it? Like a big tricycle, but for an adult, rather than one for a kid. It was a big one.
It wasn't a motorbike, though, it was a...
No, it was a push bike thing.
Right, yeah.
And she used to, sort of ride down the road with a fella sat in the basket on the back, with his, like, legs dangling over, and they'd be going to, like the pub and what have you.
Was it a different fella each time, or the same one?
Yeah, little sort of bald-headed fella.
So it was in collection for, like, organs and things. And bring out your ill. And then people just throw Grandad just in the back and go, right, we're getting £4 for Grandad.
But she's
got a lovely pair of testicles on him. They're very low, but they're
Bring out your dead, or nearly dead.
She used to, pick on her husband quite a lot. They'd be in the pub and what have you, and they'd be sat by themselves, but she'd always be sort of, you know, having a go at him, moaning at him, sort of pushing him about and that. So my dad and his mate, right, they went round to their house, knocked on the door, she answered, and he said he was a copper, right? He said, you know, Detective, Pilkington, gonna come in and have a word.
So I'm just gonna make a note of impersonating a police officer.
For the good, he went in and sort of, now, I've heard, you know, you picking on your husband a lot.
Yeah.
We'll be keeping an eye on you. Do it again, and, there'll be trouble. And she backed off after that. She was alright.
And how was the husband? Was he still in the basket, though? Was he allowed to ever sort of, like, ride up front with her? Or was he just always in the basket?
She'd sort of stopped picking on him in public places and stuff.
That's good.
Just
You can't get done, can you, just for doing that?
I think impersonating a police officer...
Well, you probably did. There was no gain. I think you can't impersonate a police officer full stop, but I think they'd probably be lenient on him that he was, you know. But let's face it, he's not gonna be caught, because why would anyone know? But it's not like his son's gonna say it on a radio station, is it? And stitch him right up.
Is this something you did generally? Kind of a little bit of, like, vigilante work?
Just whatever, him and his mate, just, you know, if they saw something going on, they go, what can we do? What little scam can we do, or whatever.
That's fantastic!